Aikido and martial arts and life. While talking about this subject, I thought it was better to move, to be walking while talking. Just like the universe is moving, the planets are moving, everything is moving. When we are speaking about such a sacred topic, one has to enter in a movement of some sort, at least just walking, just going forward, turning, rotations. So, Aikido. Why Aikido? What is Aikido? How did it come to be? Today, people see Aikido as a martial art, of course, in the sense that it teaches you self-defense. A combative art. A combative art, with moves that you can use to defend yourself against attacks. That's basically how Aikido is perceived around the world. But when we look at the life and teachings and spiritual transmissions of O Sensei Morihei Ueshiba, the founder of Aikido, we come to realize more and more that the Aikido that is practiced today around the world is not really the Aikido of Morihei Ueshiba. At least not in the end of his life, when Aikido flowered. Because Aikido went through many stages. First it was Aiki Jiu-Jitsu, and then it became Aiki Budo, and then things like that. But when it became Aikido, O Sensei was very adamant in being very clear on what the purpose is. He was continuously saying, martial arts is not for killing. Martial arts is not for competition. Martial arts should not be for mere self-defense. By martial art, he specifically, he mostly meant Aikido, because he considered Aikido to be the true Budo, the true martial way. So there has been some politics, dirty politics done with Aikido, in the Aikido world, since the passing of O Sensei, or the ascension, I should say, of O Sensei, because people like him do not die, People like him are gods. They don't die. They just ascend. Just like Buddha has ascended, just like other enlightened beings have ascended, they don't die. The body dies, but they don't die. So, Morihei Ueshiba has touched a dimension which is far beyond fighting, far beyond self-defense, far beyond physical technique and strength. And the martial world did not want to follow him there. The martial world wanted to remain the martial world, and he had no problem with that. He specifically said many times that all martial arts are one family. That all martial arts are beautiful and have something to teach us. He was not against other martial arts, even those who seem to be for combat, for self-defense and all these things. You see, now it becomes complicated, because although he respects those and loves those martial arts too, and values them at the same time, but he can't help it. Aikido is the true Budo. You can't help it. I think somewhere people, just by mere custom, respected this man, and okay, he's old and he's experienced and all these things, and so okay, Aikido is the true Budo, this that, but it's still one Budo. It's not really the true Budo. You know what I mean? That was the attitude, and that's naturally what will happen. That's the attitude of everyone else around. I mean, most or a lot. So Aikido became just another martial art with its own philosophy. For O Sensei, it was not the case. For O Sensei, and for those who are very close to him, such as Hikitsuchi Michio Sensei and his disciples, and I also come from that tradition as well. For us, it is not the case. It is not because it is us, or that it is because we come from that line. No. At least I don't see it that way. It's not about belonging to a particular thing. It's about really recognizing what the deep message was. There's a lot to say about this, and I often don't know how to start or where to finish. It's like a web. But I try my best, and I hope not making it hard for the listeners to follow along. You see, there has been a higher dimension touched. A higher dimension. There's many dimensions in life. Some dimensions are considered sacred, divine. O Sensei has touched some of those, if not all of those dimensions. And that is how Aikido was born. By O Sensei perceiving those dimensions and having a deeper, I shouldn't even say understanding, but for lack of a better word, understanding of the true purpose of Budo, of martial arts. And it's such a beautiful, overwhelmingly beautiful realization. It's a realization that puts one at the center of the universe, not in an egoistic sense that I am the center of the universe. No, not at all. It is just established. It puts one in complete establishment with the existence, the physical existence, the mental and the spiritual existence, every level of existence. And he was saying that once you are established in this way with the universe, in harmonizing yourself with the universe, now, oh my God, it's you see, now things start to become spiritual, even religious, in the positive sense of religion. Sacred, let's say. They start to become sacred. A whole lot of people have taboos with the sacred, have a lot of mental resistance with the sacred, even emotional resistance, because so now it's like, what do you want to do? Are you trying to make a new religion or a new martial art? So but it cannot be helped. By practicing the martial arts, and by, excuse me, this part of my face is still numb from the dentist appointment I had earlier. By practicing the martial arts, by perfecting oneself in the martial arts, to a point where you transcend the physical. You know, you start martial arts physically, certainly. Fighting, defending, being strong, absolutely, that's completely natural. But at one point, when you practice for so long and so intensely, you begin to touch a higher dimension. It's like dancing. You see, I love bringing these oh, I love bringing these examples, like dancing, like yoga, because I also practice yoga. You see, dancing starts off as physical. You learn the moves, and you know, you learn the moves and you move along with the music and with the rhythm. But then there comes a point. There comes a point where the dance is no longer physical, it becomes spiritual. Because now you have tapped into a higher dimension through the dancing. Because the dance, although it is physical, has allowed you, or has become an access to establishing a harmony with the rhythm. And by doing so, it opens up a whole other dimension. Dance has always been sacred for human beings. Dance has always been a way to pray to the gods. Dance has always been a way to become God, to become a god. All ancient gods were dancers, all of them. Because dance is one of the expressions, is one of the physical expressions of moving in accordance with the universe, with the rhythms of the universe, with the rhythms of the energies, the creative energies of nature. As we see, especially, I mean, it's all around the world, but we don't see it more than we see it in Africa, for example. Every god has its own dance, has his or her own dance. And by dancing that god's dance, and by wearing the god's colors, and giving the offerings accordingly, and the singing and the chanting, and the drumming, it just puts the person into a trance. And then they somehow they become a vessel for that energy, for that God. And I know this might seem weird to people who believe in there's only one God. No, there's many gods. Even you can be God. There's one universal consciousness. That I can agree. And that is what you are referring to as God. But no, people had it wrong. Gods and God and Goddess are people, have always been people. We are potential gods. We can become God if we know how to establish ourselves perfectly with the universe. That is what it means to become a god or a goddess. The source of creation is not a god, although it can be perceived as God, but it is not an entity like a human being becoming God or divine. You see the difference? So you can check out my other videos where I talk about this, but O Sensei has tapped into that dimension through the rigorous practice of martial arts and through his experiences in life, in extreme situations of war, of death, of danger, you know, and and so when he tapped into that, things just started to flow. Things started to be revealed unto him, and that's just what happens when you open up because the divine energy is everywhere. You should know this. We're not going to talk about God. We don't talk in that language. the divine presence, the divine energy that is holding everything together in the universe, that is allowing us and these trees behind me and around me, and the birds and the ants and the dirt and everything, to exist and to be held in one position, in one place, and to live and to flourish. There is that which we call Akash, or the divine energy, or so many names. And that source is intelligent. It's not just like something it is intelligent. It is conscious. It is consciousness itself. It is not a being that is conscious. It is consciousness itself. Now that consciousness itself can be intensified in a human being. Once it is intensified and awakened, then we say this person has become God. But today's language, people find it very cringy to say that, but it's just the reality. I'm really not being dogmatic in any way. There's no other way to express it. It's just that we've been trained, to not see it that way. But a human being is a potential God, has always been. A human being is a potential God and a potential goddess. That's how it's always been. That's how it's always been, and it still is the case, but mental blockage, there's mental blockages. So O Sensei touched that dimension, and then when Aikido was revealed to him, he urgently wanted people to know this is the true martial art. Please, we have to establish this, because he understood at that point that by practicing these techniques in this manner, not only do you remove the fighting spirit, you don't even need to have that mentality of fighting and defending yourself. You transcend. You have transcended that state. You are now in a divine state. And if you are in a divine state, who can touch the divine? Who can touch? No one. If you are moving in the movements of the universe, which human being can attack the universe and say, yes, I attacked the universe? That's impossible. In that same way, that little human being with a head and 2 arms and 2 legs establishes him or herself with the flow of the universe, and now the power and the energy of the universe is condensed within that puny human being, even though it still is a human being, but something else is animating that human being. Something else is assisting that human being. The universe itself is assisting that human being. Now, there's no point even to fight. There's no point even to defend. The opponent cannot even attack you. It's impossible. That was the realization of O Sensei. And he emphasized very clearly that by practicing the techniques of Aikido as he has laid them down, you are allowing yourself to get into harmony with the universe in a way that you understand and you can see and perceive where energies are coming, how to ride them, how to go with them, how to not be in the way, to not be harmed by them, but rather make use of them for your own benefit, for your own life, and for the benefit of everyone, not just you, because the universe is all inclusive. This was the most beautiful revelation, or realization rather, that anyone has ever seen, at least in the modern age. It's incredible. So now, what to do with Aikido now? It became a hassle. It became a problem in the world, with politics and with religion everywhere, and it became a problem. Like you cannot present this art as such, as the way of the gods. No, people have their own religion, and people, That was the reaction of the world. It's a beautiful art, and we can do it for self-defense. But no, let's leave the spiritual aspect aside. But by leaving the spiritual aspect aside, you have not done Aikido justice. You have not done O Sensei justice. You have not fulfilled his dream. His dream is the dream of any conscious human being, which can see that nothing is more urgent and more necessary in the world than peace, than harmony, than love. That's it. Why are we fighting all these wars? Why do people fight wars anyway? It's either to protect themselves or either to conquer land and to get resources that they don't have. Basically, it's for prosperity. Even though it's not a very good way, but it's still a way for prosperity. To find prosperity. So if prosperity is the aim, is the goal, and you can find a way to achieve prosperity without even shedding one drop of blood, why is that not a good way? That is the best way. And that was the way of O Sensei, Morihei Ueshiba. And that is why he founded Aikido. Through the realization of higher dimensions of the divine. It is incredible. It is like translating the divine into martial arts movements. Because, everyone talks about the divine. In religion, they talk about God and this and did that. And music also sings and expresses the divine in their own way. Dancing, like we said earlier. But nowhere has fighting been an expression of the divine until O Sensei established it better than anyone, I think. And by establishing it not through fighting, but through the martial arts. Now, the movements that were aimed to kill and to cut an opponent down became techniques that bring life. It is the most beautiful thing. I find it hard to hold tears every time I speak about this. It is very beautiful. I find it very hard not to hold tears. It is incredibly overwhelming. That is what Aikido is. Aikido and the techniques themselves are not meant. They are not limited unto themselves. The techniques are keys to access a higher dimension. That is what people are not understanding. That is why people, when they see Aikido being practiced, they say, oh, well, this technique is not useful physically. Like, if someone is attacking you, like, why would you do this and turn this way? It's not useful. And they're right. In many ways. Not all the time, but the reason why they are right is because they are wrong about something else. They are wrong about the purpose of those techniques. And the purpose is not limited unto themselves. The purpose of the techniques is to open something inside of you, and open the dimensions within you. I've experienced this, and many people have experienced this. O Sensei spoke about this. Hikitsuchi Sensei spoke about this consistently and said, we train Aikido and people have misunderstood this. People thought, oh, this is just like some nice philosophical speech. No, it is not. It is purely practical. By practicing Aikido in the proper way, by not speaking, by expressing yourself through your body, by moving before the attack happens, before the grab happens, you are learning to connect and feel the intention of the opponent, the partner, so that you and him are not 1+1, so that you and him become zero, become a circle, become the infinite dance of the universe. And who can fight that? Nobody. Nobody. That is what Aikido is. But today we don't see that. That is what pains me. We don't see that. Aikido today is promoted by the Aikikai of Tokyo, which denounce, which neglect or deny that O Sensei has ever had any true religious or spiritual or divine experience which led him to establishing Aikido. The Aikikai of Tokyo denies even the closest disciple of O Sensei, which is Hikitsuchi Michio Sensei. They deny all that. And people have to start talk about this. This is not an accident. This is done on purpose to keep people from the true essence of Aikido, which is the true essence of Budo, of martial arts, martial way, which is the essence of life itself. It's a life-giving instrument. And they want to remove that from people because, hey, if you give that to people, you empower people in a way that people will not even need your politics anymore, your governments anymore, at least not the way they are. It's going to change everything. You see, so now when we look at things this way, we see that it does not just lead to martial arts being effective or non-effective. Aikido has touched a dimension which touches every aspect of life. This is why they were threatened by it. Aikido is immensely powerful. It touches every aspect of life. It transforms every aspect of life. So now if people establish Aikido as a way of a whole nation, now no poverty will exist, no war will exist, no conflict will exist. Like, it'll be like heaven on earth. Which is great for me and you, but not so great for certain people who still have a very low reptilian mindset. They have not established themselves in a divine state, and they just can't. They're just too down on the level of consciousness. They still think that control is the way of the world. They still think that conflict is the way of the world. And that's sad. And O Sensei wanted to change this urgently. Because and I urge every government official of every country to practice Aikido not only in the way that it is done today, but to seek the true essence of Aikido, which is very hard to find today, unfortunately. But I hope that I will be able to contribute something to the world which will help the true essence of Aikido to flourish in the world. That, if I don't live for anything else, I would live for this. I don't see any cause more noble than this. I don't find any other cause to be as noble, as urgent, as important. It is for all of us. So let us practice. If you are practicing Aikido, please allow yourself to practice in the way that O Sensei has always mentioned, always spoke about. Please get to know Hikitsuchi Sensei. He transmits the essential teachings of Aikido in certain videos of his. Please, this is not about competition that this master is better than this master. No, all masters, you can watch all masters and learn from all of them. But please don't forget Hikitsuchi Sensei. Please don't forget O Sensei, who is the founder of Aikido. I see Aikidokas today so arrogant. I don't really agree with O Sensei in certain things. Are you crazy? Like, O Sensei, you are practicing his art, man. His art, which he has established through his blood and tears and sweat and soul, through the tapping of higher dimensions. And you're gonna come here and say, I don't agree with how he did this and how he did that. I'm gonna modify here and here, here and here. You know what? First of all, you learn his way, because you are learning his way, his art. First learn it the proper way, the way he taught it. And after that, you are free. You can modify whatever you want, that's fine. But first you pay tribute. Do it justice. At least grasp it or establish yourself in it the way it has been given, the way it has been brought. Because O Sensei, he consecrated his whole life to this. And you're gonna come here and you've never even been to a war, and you're gonna be like, you know what, I don't really, you know, nah, I don't agree with this, because he was talking about God and being God. No, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I don't believe in that stuff. That's okay. But try to be more open. If you truly believe in God, the creator of the universe, God is everywhere. Doesn't matter if you worship him in Arabic and Japanese and English and French. It's the same divine presence. That presence is everywhere. That presence is what's giving you life, giving everything life. Connect to that. You don't have a dogmatic mentality. When you enter in the world of Aikido, you transcend. You begin to transcend. You have an opportunity to transcend the dogmatic mindset. Really, use that for your benefit. Don't go into Aikido and still defend your shortcomings, still defend your limitations. Aikido should allow you to expand, not only physically, but mentally and energetically, everything. That means even your understanding should expand. Do not stay limited in the little understandings of the society. The society is not run by enlightened beings. The society is run by people who are very, very survivalistic in their approach to life. They do not see beauty in life. They do not see purpose in life. They do not see harmony in life. Do not base your understanding of everything on that point of view. Aikido is an opportunity, a once in a lifetime opportunity. There's nothing like it to expand your understanding and your approach to life itself. It brings endless, limitless beauty to your life. So I'm gonna stop this video here, and I would love to speak about this once again. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please share your thoughts with us. I appreciate you guys if you have made it to this point in the video. I'll make another video very soon, talking about Aikido more, talking about martial arts more. Thank you very much. Please make sure to check out my other videos. And if you ever want to contact me, I'll leave my contact in the description of this video. And I thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys very soon.